Ladies and gentlemen, the Gen Zs and millennials have been protesting in the country, asking the president to listen to them, particularly on the grievances they have been raising, as far as governance is concerned. We are talking about the issues to do corruption, tribalism, nepotism, poor governance. Generally, the entire government has been rotten, so we wanted a serious change of this government in terms of how things are run. Now, we had these Gen Zs and millennials coming up with various conditions for the government to abide by. And actually, some of these things that we were saying, it is that there should be dissolution of the entire cabinet, there should be reduction of the members of parliament salaries, we should have a cut in the expenditure of the government, particularly the executive, we should have corruption coming to an end, those who are corrupt getting convicted, and many other issues, particularly in the country. We went ahead to talk about, let's have those who have been arrested from the protest to be released unconditionally. Let those who have been abducted to be released. Let those who have been shot and dead to be compensated. Let the 25th of June to become a national holiday. There are many other things that Gen Zs and millennials have been raising in the country. Now, but there's something that also captured my attention. When President William Ruto dissolved the cabinet, Gen Zs came up with some of the recommendations or maybe conditions that President William Ruto should abide by before appointing new cabinet secretaries. This is the first thing they did. They say that this person must be a technocrat, must not be a friend, must not be a politician who has been engaging, because the constitution is clear we need technocrats here. Now, so President Ruto, continued to make his appointments, and actually he stated very clearly that he did not consider some of the things that the Gen Zs and millennials were raising. So we had him actually appoint some of the people that we had rejected from the previous cabinet, and actually not just 1, 2, but 6 of them. And one of these people were there was Adin Duale, of course, and Kinture Gindiga, and many others. Now, upon doing this, we were waiting for his second batch of cabinet, which was now read yesterday by President William Ruto. The day before yesterday, by President William Ruto. When he was reading this batch of cabinet, there are a few things that I pointed out that I realized not just William Ruto has really ignored what Gen Zs and millennials were saying, but also Raila Amolo Odinga himself, who has been leading this team before, particularly during the 2022 elections, where we were saying Baba the Fifth, when he called us to come to the streets and demonstrate. We did demonstrate. What is this that Baba did not consider when he was giving the names of who are going to be cabinet secretaries? Before I talk of that, if this is the first time you're watching our videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because that's the best support you can always give us. I will always give you a feedback whenever you comment on my videos, and thank you so much for those who are doing so. Now, let me dive into that topic. What is this thing that Baba did that I feel that it was a mistake? One of them, it is not bringing in technocrats. What do I mean by that? Raila knows very well that the constitution says we need technocrats and not politicians to come on various dockets. Let me try to say that, for instance, he brought in Opiyo Wandayi from the issue. Opiyo Wandayi, considering his qualifications, not a technocrat who should be running the issues to do with the energy sector in the country. I had a feeling that Raila could have appeared different in this sector. Why? I know very well that Raila knows so many people who are so well educated and qualified and technocrats to serve in these dockets. Perhaps you could have recommended these names to them, because most of these people who are appointed by Raila Amolo Odinga are not poor, are not jobless. Some of them are very rich and some of them have seats, particularly being a minority leader, being a member of parliament. That is huge. Therefore, you could have pointed out bringing in some people who are very serious and can be able to drive these sectors, these dockets, very well as technocrats. But instead, Raila still reappointed, also brought in some of the politicians, loyal people, Hassan Joho, and also many other people like Mbadi. Now, we can say Mbadi, at least it was better, because he has been speaking about being a treasury, about the treasury policies. And I think if he's going to be serious about what he has been saying, of course, he can bring a change. But let me pose a question here. When you come and tell William Ruto now, when William Ruto dismisses Aisha Jumwa, and then he brings Hassan Joho, what is he telling Kenyans? These are people who have been having questionable character, particularly when it comes to education. But now you are telling us here, Joe is coming to do better in mining and the blue economy? Never. We need people who are qualified to run such dockets. These are rich people. People already have money. Why don't we have technocrats coming on that? Now, when you talk of Opiyo Wandayi becoming the CS usually for energy, Opiyo Wandayi is just a member of parliament. He's also he's also a minority leader. His main course in campus was agriculture, something related to agriculture. Then he did law. Now he's coming to the docket where you need engineer knowledge. So this is a gentleman who will first be briefed and then for him to come and brief the country, because he does not understand most of these things. He's also old, he's not young. So you brief him first by engineers, whether it's wrong or right thing, he has to be briefed, and then now come and tell the people in Kenya. Most of the things that will be running there will not be on his fingertips. Why? We realize that engineers will be having much more understanding of what is happening in the country, or maybe the people much more informed on these sectors of energy will be having more understanding than the cabinet secretary himself. And this is what we discourage here, and that is what gives people some doubts that this gentleman, that particularly Opiyo Wandayi, whom they brought in that docket, he might not perform. He might disappoint Raila Amolo Odinga and the entire people who have been supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, because right now the expectations are up there. They want Raila Odinga's people to perform. If they don't perform, then definitely Raila and Ruto will face the consequences. Therefore, I think that's one of the first things that Raila Amolo Odinga ignores. The second thing is the issue of friendship. The people have failed this country is friendship. Where your friend is holding a certain docket, he does something wrong, you favor him because he's your friend. It's an experience we had from William Ruto, where you had Murkomen behaving like a kid all over. He's not behaving like a cabinet secretary. That is very wrong. And we had people like Oscar Sudi flaunting. No, I mean not Oscar Sudi. We had people like Aden Duale speaking arrogantly to the people of Kenya. And because it was his friend, there's nothing much that he could do. And many other leaders who have been in those dockets, they were not good. So you find that whenever they do something wrong, actually even Linturi himself, look at what happened in the agriculture docket, a very huge and critical docket for President William Ruto. The same docket, he brings in someone who is not competent, and then when he does something wrong, friendship is considered. To considering the issue of fake fertilizer, where he was supposed to be impeached, but because of being friends with William Ruto, maybe loyal, maybe supporting him from Meru, they decide to do what? To let him be free and walk free and serve the same docket and more salary still, yet there was a problem in the docket. There was fake fertilizer that was supplied to farmers back in the villages. You know, that is where we go wrong. Now, if in case Opiyo Wandayi does something wrong, will he be punished after being made to relinquish his seat from where he's an MP, or maybe where he was a minority leader? It will be difficult. Will you be able to punish Mbadi, who has been loyal to ODM all this time? It will be difficult. Will you be able to punish Joho from the coast? People of the coast will feel like you are killing our own. Will you be able to go and attack Oparanya? People will say like, okay, why didn't you sack this other guy? You've come to Oparanya. You know, he has put himself in certain quagmire where he's going to experience a lot of issues, because even to reshuffle these people themselves in the future is going to be difficult. And as a result of all this, we are going to have people actually having trouble with the president himself. You find wrangles coming between ODM and UDA in between, even before 2027. And this is what we are discouraging, because he's given this gentleman a leeway for him to give an excuse of not performing. If he says, for instance, I brought in the Ogwambo people and they have failed us, what will you tell them? Will you say no? That is what we are saying here, that you are not supposed to bring such people. Now, lastly, I'm talking about recycling. One of the problems we have in the country right now, it is recycling leaders. You find a leader has been serving this. For instance, Oparanya served as a minister. For 15 years, he was a member of parliament. He became an MP twice in the country. He became an MP twice in the country. A governor twice in the country. He also became, he has also been one of the top leaders in the ODM sector. So he's been recycled again to get into power. Yet there are people he has been educating for long. These people are finished, and now here, they are going to be, again, led by him. That is my video there and there. Kindly make sure that you give your comments, because that's the best support you can always give this channel.